obviously, there's a lot of things that happened this year, and we're going to chat about some of the interesting stories that we found that you probably didn't hear about, or at least we hadn't heard about, and we haven't covered on this. Yeah. And let's start with one that I thought was pretty interesting, which is what's going on with AI music. So Spotify, according to them, they have about 100 million songs in their library, which is an absolutely obscene amount of music. How many AI songs do you think were submitted to Spotify this year?
Dude, 99.8 million or something.
Let's go like 50 million.
75 million.
That's wild.
Their entire library was almost doubled this year because of AI spam tracks that they had to remove. That's how much AI music is just flooding Spotify.
Dude, they do some crazy shit too, is they'll put names, like, because I'm in my car and I'll say, have Spotify play Brandon's playlist. And they'll make a song called Brandon's playlist. They have songs for like everybody's name playlist. They have every type of
like AI people are, so they upload songs to
the album is called like Brandon's playlist, and the song is called like Songs While Driving or whatever. They'll just have names of every possible sentence you might say. Or like play a song for a birthday vibe, and there'll be a song called Birthday Vibe.
Like Brandon's birthday vibe. Yeah.
That old Rick and Morty episode where Jerry's driving the car and he turns on the radio and it's
like
the aliens playing
music.
human music. That's what I feel like. They were all getting forced to listen to human music.
What were the 75 million songs? Like, what genre do you think they were? It's probably country.
Just all country slop.
I mean, is this part of the story, the country thing?
Okay, well, so the kind of story here is twofold. One, AI music is just exploding, as people are probably a lot aware. And I will just get this out of the way. I don't like AI music. I'm not a fan of how it's working and how it's going, but there's some interesting updates in the industry. So the first is that AI music is allowed on Spotify, and they have very clearly said they're going to keep allowing it. But right now, there's no label. They said this year, like, hey, we're working on a new way for people to put metadata to say what part of their songs was made with AI. Right now, though, no label, nothing. You can imagine where this is going. In June, a new song chopped the charts. It's the Velvet Sundown, Dust on the Wind. That's right. Perry, can you blare this? Now that is some human music. Mm-hmm. I believe we can play this because of the research I've done around. You don't have the copyright. Damn, dude. And actually, I'm going to skip 5 seconds.
Music.
All right. Now,
who's on the ground?
These songs love to mention boots. Okay, they talk about boots on the ground, bootstraps, pick yourself up by your boot. A lot about boots. Now, as it's probably not shocking to you, this is entirely AI. But what was interesting, this launched in June. They get 1.4 million monthly listeners. It becomes like a huge band. And it appeared on Spotify's Discover Weekly. And at first, the band was telling outlets they're a human. They're like, yeah, we have this guitarist. They have whatever. No. And then people were investigating. They come out with this Instagram post, which is just delightfully awful. They finally admit it. Not quite human, not quite machine. We live somewhere in between. This isn't a trick. It's a mirror, an ongoing artistic provocation designed to challenge
written by AI.
The boundaries of authorship, identity, and the future of music itself.
This message is ChatGPT,
yes.
Dude. You can tell because this isn't this. This isn't X. It's Y.
Yeah.
This is 100%.
They have the dash here on their website. It's this like extremely obnoxious. It's very much just like AI, bro. They're selling shirts that say "Sorry, real musicians." It's just fucking wild.
Real music is dead. You might as well dress like it.
No, hold on. Dare I say my rage bait sensor's going off.
Clearly they're leaning into it, right? Eventually they were like, we're just gonna fucking be the villains, like whatever. But this was like a popular band, and then if you Google their most popular song is this one, Dust on the Wind, Boots on the Ground, Smoke on the... Oh yeah. So it's this extraordinarily generic indie rock, but the comments are amazing. You can hear the pain in his motherboard. My wife used to love this song. We just listened to it while driving on the highway. She passed in 1998. She was a toaster. I'm a calculator. My fridge begins to vibrate and spits out ice cubes when I play this. This song brings back so many good memories of 10011100011. This song hits me right in the USB. So people are memeing on it really, really hard. But this did incredibly well. In November, there's another band, Breaking Rust.
Well, this is the one this is Walk My Walk.
Mud on my jeans.
Walk My Walk. This is #1 country.
Oh, yeah. Aiden, do you like country music?
You don't
He's
like country
talking
music?
about how he had to pick up his
country
boots.
song digitally.
Don't you like music about boots?
You don't know Breaking Rust, dude?
So in this song, there's like a 30-second segment where he doesn't breathe. It's just, and it's a good voice, it's This stuff is super, super generic sounding right now.
This is also AI.
Yes.
100% AI.
So it's not only AI, it is in November this month, I don't know if it still is, #1 in the country digital song sales on Spotify. And again, as of right now, there are no labels on Spotify. So there's no indication that this is AI or not. People have to go investigate. So for now, Spotify said, we're going to figure this out in the future, but it's allowed and it's going.
Yeah, this one has 4 million views on YouTube. This is a massive hit. This is a massive country hit. I mean, the one I'm looking at for that's on our two.
Okay.
So,
You mentioned earlier that Spotify was removing a lot of the AI music that was being uploaded to the platform
Right.
at the beginning of this section. But they also seem to be actively pushing some AI created music intentionally, and there would be a benefit to Spotify in the long run of if a significant amount of money was AI generated by them, they don't have to deal with the royalty cut, which is the main gateway to them becoming a profitable company right now.
Sure.
Which they want to get rid of the burden of having to pay artists on the platform,
Yeah.
presumably. What is the line for them at the moment of what does and doesn't get removed and what they choose to push and not to push?
Their term for it is spammy. When I said they eliminated 75 million songs this year, their words is spammy songs. So I think that they have some way of determining like this is an obviously low effort AI song.
Okay.
But ultimately it's them and we don't know, right? If they remove 75 million, maybe there's another 25 million that got through that aren't spammy tracks. I don't know what makes this not a spammy track versus somebody, because like now with Suno and these AI music companies, you just set a prompt, right? You just say, make me a generic sounding country song and talk about boots every 4 words, and like it's gonna do well, right? I think what was interesting about this is the scale of AI music is growing so obscenely rapidly that even with them removing 75 million songs, this stuff is still getting through and topping charts, right? It's like the spam songs had to have been horrific because this isn't very good, to be honest. You know, like I can't even imagine how shit these songs were. Presumably it's some kind of filter.
There is clearly a portion of this audience who is listening to the song, who is enjoying it enough and has no idea that it's AI created or not, or potentially doesn't care if they do know. I did want to ask because Suno had just raised $250 million. This is a recent funding round that they went through. And there's a person who works at Suno who used to be, I don't know, pretty involved in the streaming space. Her name's Jasmine Rice Girl on social media.
Oh, she got roasted.
And she made a big post about Suno and like why she's happy to work there. And she's getting lit up.
Oh, she
getting
works there.
Destroyed. Yeah, she works there now.
Oh, yeah.
And I know her. I don't know her well, but I know of her because she used to be in kind of the streaming space in LA, like adjacent to it. So I'm watching this person that I know get eaten alive online for the post she made. And because of that, I was thinking about it more at a personal level, right? I think there's something about the artistic expression of music and how it's something very personal we share with each other. It's embedded into human culture. It feels like maybe you're starting to peel away the sanctity of what music is by making it predominantly AI created or allowing AI to create it at large scales at all. That would be my personal grievance with it, right? But if enough people are listening to it and seemingly enjoying it, I started to ask myself the question of like, I take issue with this and I don't want to listen to AI music, but what can I really do to stop people from listening to this AI country song that they apparently like? I can think it's lame, but beyond that, have you guys thought much about how you feel about it or what the arguments against it are? I think there's the other part of it. It was like, maybe you're creating music for specific use cases like background music in a YouTube video and you don't pay an artist to like make it anymore. But just from a personal enjoyer of music position where I listen to Spotify in my car for fun, I'm having a harder time arguing against it.
I think the reason that her post got so much backlash, at least the reason it kind of was off-putting for me, was like it was so obvious that she had never spoken about any of this at all until she got this job. Like this is just a job thing. It's a promo for.
Yeah, I mean her post specifically. Okay. I think there's a bunch of specific grievances with the way she presented her story or how she felt about music or whatever. Right. That's not what I care about. Okay. That's like your personal problem with someone how they presented their thoughts about it, right?
Okay.
And I think that's actually disconnected from the broader conversation of like, if some Jerry is in his car listening to human music, listening to human music on his commute,
and he's happy about it.
I think that's stupid. I think that's stupid and it defeats the purpose of music and how we all share it together. But what is the argument against who am I to tell Jerry
the argument
to not
is
enjoy it?
the financial part of the way playlists work on Spotify, right? So a lot of artists, especially not mainstream artists, get exposure or views from getting in those playlists. And if there's 75 million new songs generated all the time and they crowd out all the space, it's already a hard thing to make a living. It would be almost impossible.
You're punishing all the people. You're
Anyone without
pushing
brand
out all the
recognition
people
is
that might make music successfully.
just
like
almost
actual artists.
guaranteed, right? Because anything they make, anything that's new, you could train on that, make 100,000 copies that are close. Or
there has to be a lot of filtering around AI stuff, and that hasn't happened this year, but they're working on it, and there's a bunch of companies working on it. So essentially, they're going to add new types of metadata, because part of the problem right now, and this is actually a broad question that I think is interesting. The question right now is like things are being labeled as either AI or not AI, but that's not really.
That's a great question.
That's not accurate to what's happening, because many people use AI for certain parts. For example, mastering a song. There are AI tools that can help you master a song. Maybe you go to the AI tool and you say, hey, generate a bass line for this song I'm working on. And that's the only AI piece. So it's like what percentage or what pieces need to be AI. But so what the protocol metadata that they're working on is going to basically have many different ways to describe which parts of songs are AI generated or not. And so in theory, you will then be able to go to Spotify and say, I want songs that have none of this, or I want songs that the human worked on 80% of it or whatever.
Right.
And so that will, in theory, allow people to filter out the mass of nonsensical shit, right?
It is weird because if I were to argue for the pro side for a second, it would be like there's already a bunch of people who turn like preset beats or
like most
default,
hip-hop is-
like people take like a sample in like
sampling it,
GarageBand and then distort it and then turn it into an actual song. And I was like, that's fucking music. I think you did something creative with that. And you could be doing something with AI in the same way, right? My issue is pumping out full lyrics, fully automated AI song that then fills the charts that would otherwise be filled with people trying to make stuff.
So I think that's fairly easy to look at these songs and be like, this is not actually, I don't think it's very good. But
that's what I'm saying. There's
a million people
Jerry's
like,
out
all right,
there.
I think that's more of a condemnation of country music. All you have to, all right, and so
I'll fully admit, if I heard that song on the radio, I wouldn't know if it was AI or human.
Oh, of course not.
Of course not. How the fuck
but
would
I would know that it's country and therefore is bad. But you know, it's so okay. So I think the question we have to start asking ourselves very soon, like in 2026, is let's say it's 50% human music and 50% an actual person.
Let's say someone makes an AI generated beat and then raps over it.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Aiden.
Yeah, Aiden. Answer this question.
Me.
Spotify
On behalf of Lemonade Stand, this is a sticky subject.
This is hard.
It's a hard one,
This
right?
is hard because part of me wants to be the fuck that guy for making the AI beat, but I think I have to think about it in that some people just rip default beats that they didn't
they
make.
just go to YouTube and type
and then just
like
go to YouTube and get royalty free beat.
J. Cole style beat, and then they rip it and then they
then hit over
That's
it
like a normal
anyway.
thing to do. So it's weird. It's a weird thing.
That's what. This is what kind of the back to the thing I was saying earlier is like you made the case as to like why it's bad in a Spotify context, right? I want the viewer at home to imagine some guy, he doesn't use Spotify. He only downloads FLAC copies on a physical hard drive of these insanely bad AI songs.
Okay.
And then he listens to them alone in his car on his commute.
He gets a record press.
Is that a bad guy? I think he's a stupid guy, but is he a bad guy? That's what I'm saying. It's like, who am I to
Like he's driving
who
to
am I
Arby's.
Wait. Can you play this song, Perry?
He's driving to Arby's in like a beige shirt, and he's listening to human music
and
that
he's
he
listening
downloaded.
to human music. I think the problem is how you determine or like grade this if the proliferation of these tools turns into the abuse of them by larger companies like Spotify. Those are difficult questions to answer. But if one person is genuinely coming to me with an AI beat they made and then they rap over it and make an actual human song in the same way that somebody could take an existing song and sample it and then just, maybe they just reverse it and then make that their song or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's a human element to that I can appreciate and enjoy. And I like that.
Wait, speaking of human element, look at this song.
Cruising down the street, red, white,
Maybe it is country is the problem.
Putin tattoo.
It's a bro country song about loving Putin.
Yeah.
Wow.
That shit went hard, dude. This when Suno first came out. It's already so better since
No
then.
disrespect to the country music lovers. I do think you have a
country's the
particularly formulaic genre.
Yeah, it's
okay?
funny because this one,
And I say that as somebody who likes
stop
like
it.
house music, which is the most fucking.
because we tested it for a couple. This is when Suno first came out. We just tested it with some genres, and it can't do like rap at all. Like it couldn't. There was a lot of them it couldn't do, but country, it was like country sounded like country radio to me.
Yeah.
The core issue here feels like so many things we've talked about before, where the most genuine use of the tool is fine. That image that Suno is like trying to sell you, if somebody is actually doing it, where this is a tool in their toolkit of how they become creative and make a movie, or sorry, not make a movie, make a song. And this is just one part of the belt that is used to like piece together
Right.
a very human experience.
Also VSTs and samples and everything else you use music production. Yeah.
But because the tool is available in the same way that you can use ChatGPT to cheat on a test or write emotional letters to your friend that you don't want to think about writing.
Yeah.
Like the abuse is going to be rampant by either corporations or by individuals no matter what. I don't know what the realistic path forward of like policing or controlling that is. I think an effort to like mark, like you're saying they're making an effort to do, of like just giving people a notice or an alert of how much of the song is like AI made. But
It's fucked though, because it creates this incentive. Like this is going to be such a big thing in the next few years, is like human washing AI output.
Yeah.
This already kind of exists with art, where game studios are like paying artists to like
brush up. Yeah.
an AI generated thing, so
Yeah.
they can be like, this is human made. And then they pretend they didn't see where it came from. Like their idea is to be like, we got it from a human. It's a human. And they can say from our knowledge, but this is already happening now. And I think
Putting the
once you
final
add-
part on and it's
yeah,
made
it's
in
the
USA.
final part on made in humanity. You know, it's like that's kind of happening. And it's of course going to happen once there's a human label, because that gives you a premium or a benefit that some people only want to listen to.
I think the other part of this is, imagine it's like a tiny logo next to a song or something, right? Some marker that indicates that the song has AI involved in it in some way.
Right.
I think it'll become like the little explicit logo next to songs. If this has just become so common that it's part of everything all the time, nobody gives a shit. Nobody looks at the explicit logo next to songs
My
and
mom
really
did.
and really
For
cares.
Eminem's album
And
in 2001.
But that's the
She
thing.
wouldn't let me buy it.
I think people used to care more about something like that. And that's not just because I was a kid 20 years ago. I think if you look at the percentage of songs that come
Aiden's wondering
out,
why his mom doesn't care now when he buys an explicit album.
that
What changed?
I think the like a cultural acceptance of like cursing and content or whatever like
Sure.
changed, right? And now most songs have that warning next to it, where you kind of forget it's there because it's next to the majority of things. I would predict this would play out similarly, is like as it becomes more and more accepted, it's not this like identifiable thing that makes the song different from everything around it. It's just the marker of what makes all of the songs in the list the same.
Yeah, it's kind of happening with games right now. Like Arc Raiders, people had some pushback because it has like an AI voice in it and it's labeled that way in Steam. But the game's a smash hit. And like it's clearly like more and more games are going to have something.
I do think
Yeah.
ultimately people are going to care about quality, right? They're going to go for what they really like. I would like to believe that the best music is still going to come out of humans. I think that is going to be the case. I think that's going to be the case with basically all AI stuff, certainly any generative AI. My worry is less about will the charts be topped by a lot of AI slop, and more so will the bottom 80% be filled with slop. And I do think the
Yeah.
bottom 80%, the people who make a living writing jingles for corporations, or, you know, you write generic like elevator music that you buy to back your YouTube song, or, you know, I don't know, maybe even video game background.
Right.
I think that stuff, that job you have where you aren't your own brand charting a course through unknown waters and you're developing this really, but you're doing a job, you're doing a service for other people. I think that's going to be really consumed by this, unfortunately.
The doomer part of me is I go back to that one Stavros clip a lot where he's like, the AI was supposed to like replace the warehouse jobs. And instead of doing that, it's like making art instead. And that's a little how I feel about this, where it seems like we're making so much more progress towards like automating away the things that humans have joy for
love to do.
and that we love to do, and we want to give people the opportunity to do as much as possible, and people still work at the warehouses. And not to say that there won't eventually be progress made there as well, where like people don't have to work like really hard laborious jobs anymore, right?
Yeah.
But it's this idea of like, why is this the first thing that's getting automated away
Hey, thanks for giving
In
a
the-
bone for AI, by the way. Appreciate that. Thanks.
instead of the warehouse work? It feels bad.
I guess possible counterpoint is like there are clearly making progress on like robotics plus AI being able to do some of those jobs.
Yeah.
like eventually. But really, it's more about political systems that can distribute the gains from that. But something like chess, where AI has been better than computers have been better than humans for now, coming up on 2 decades. Now the phone can beat Magnus Carlsen. Like anything can beat Magnus Carlsen. A toaster can beat Magnus Carlsen. We're still all watching the human stuff. It's never been bigger. It's never done better. If music goes the same way as chess, I guess I'm kind of.
Here's a better comparison. I think there's the obvious difference you could point out of chess being this competitive game versus music being this like exploration of,
but it's an entertainment
output or
product.
identity, right?
I'm not studying chess. I watch chess as an entertainment product.
I think Go is an example that might be better, where humans started losing because of AI. We had to get to machine learning to beat the best Go professionals. In chess, that wasn't the case. We could outcompete the best professionals without AI or like machine learning really existing yet. Because there's only so many possibilities in chess.
It's automation,
so you
right?
could you could just use a normal computer basically to like beat the best chess pros. We could start beating them then. Versus in Go, it took until like 2017 versus like 1995 to like be able to beat the best professionals in that game, right?
Yeah.
And the old top level professionals of Go, a big complaint is like the soul and the humanity of the game is like gone now. This game was seen as like particularly almost like artistic in the way that it was played by humans has had its like soul robbed from it because.
But are people not watching Go anymore? Like I assume.
But that's the question that I would need to answer is like, is there something distinct there? Is Go viewership down? Is the number of Go players down? I know that older players have faded away.
The AI songs, is he driving to go watch a AI versus AI Go match?
Yeah, is he doing that? And would he enjoy that as much?
Would you do it? And is he an asshole for enjoying 2 robots playing Go? I mean, look, I think in every sphere of humanity, we're going to have to deal with this very existential, fundamental philosophical question. And I don't know. Many people have said music is like the canary in the coal mine for things like this. At least a lot of musicians and et cetera have said this. And we can talk later about Suno and what the AI music companies are doing. But the short version is the major music labels are collaborating with the AI music companies. They're trying to embrace it. And the sentiment I heard is that the music industry missed out on like streaming and the internet. They tried to deny it and they got their ass eaten by LimeWire, right?
Not in a good way.
Right. Yeah, in the bad way.
In the bad way.
They're like, this time around, new technological change. It's going to upend the music industry. We're going to partner with them this time. We're going to incorporate it. We're going to embrace it. And it's like, man, I don't know. So for better or for worse, I think music's going to be one of the real like industry to watch in terms of understanding how humanity is going to change as AI comes in. And I wish it was going better. Wait, really funny story. Okay. Last year, FBI announced that they had arrested the guy who had uploaded hundreds of thousands of AI songs onto Spotify. So he had made $10 million in royalties by racking up fake streams on Spotify, right? So if you think about it, if you upload, I don't know, if I upload my own song of me singing in the shower to Spotify, and then I have like tens of thousands of bots all stream it, I would get streaming revenue from it, right? Because Spotify would be like, oh, cool, their song is really popular. But that's really obvious that I'm gaming the system. If I get like 1 billion views, it's like, okay, clearly something's wrong. So this guy, once AI music started, he was like, we need to get a ton of songs fast to make this work around anti-fraud policies. So he just got around it by making hundreds of thousands of AI songs and then had tens of thousands of bots listening to all of the songs.
Just like 1 or 2 times.
A couple listens on each one of them. He, per day, had about 660,000 streams and made him $1.2 million per year.
That's crazy.
This dude was insane. So there's going to be, obviously there's like fraud going on, but.
Dude, that's the worst part of me. All the AI stuff, it's like I can see individual things that are kind of cool. Or it's just the scale. It's like because you can do it, you can just click it infinite times.
Yes.
That always, it breaks every system you can think of. Like it crowds out because we just can't make things that, you know what I'm saying? That's what always scares me. But I do see potential. It's just weird.
I mean, that's why I've been saying I keep moving forward, never looking back, with a worn out hat and a 6-string strap.
Oh,
and
my
I feel
favorite
like
song?
if we just remember that, we're gonna get through it. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh yeah. You can kick rocks if you don't like how I talk. God, it's so generic and awesome.
Can't talk or walk.
I was born this way,
crazy.
been loud too long. He's born a month ago.
It really is just the shit you and your friends would make up a country song would be.
Yeah, it's like a stereotype of oh, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah, they fucking loved it. I don't know. That's crazy.
And that was it.
Dude, I mean, if I was like that was it? That was in 2025?
That was 2025.
That was 2025? That was the only one we missed?
And then Mike Johnson Smith or whatever, like he's been got turned down by that girl for prom.
Oh, yeah. Mike
that was
Johnson,
it.
Yeah.
That was it.
Wow, the big
She
two.
didn't like him very much.